What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorldPodcast. Today we're going to be talking about Week 9 Thursday Night Football Showdown, the Packers and the Niners. I know it sounds exciting, and I know looking at that score, it seems like, it's a situation where the 49ers were actually in this game, but it wasn't. They scored their 14 points in the fourth quarter. They were getting dominated throughout the game. Aaron Rodgers was just on fire. It is what it is. I don't really know what else I can actually display with it, but I got to tell you this right now. Ultimately, the way that everything worked out, it was I think it was more simplistic with all of the things that were going on. People couldn't play because of testing positive. People didn't understand exactly what was going to go on with the 49ers, but you had an idea with Davante Adams that he would be that guy. Now, he had the one spectacular touchdown on the left side. It was pretty good, but he also had 12 targets. 10 receptions, 173 yards, 1 touchdown. If you had this man during fantasy, you probably had a really good time. Valdez-Scantling wasn't too bad either. One of those broken plays in the middle of the game, not in the middle of the field, where I don't know what that safety was doing, sitting down underneath and letting him go right over the top, but it was very, very stupid. I really have to start to evaluate what's going on with Kyle Shanahan over there, dude. I know he's supposed to be an offensive mind that loses in Super Bowls when they're up 28-3, but it's something going on, and I can't really figure out exactly what's happening offensively. Defensively, they're completely depleted. Obviously, they didn't have their starting quarterback, but Garoppolo's not that good anyway. But listen, that's not what it's about. The bottom line is this. There are very, very few quarterbacks that can win games without a solid running game. And you guys know that that's true. And that's the biggest thing about when you talk about players like Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Drew Brees. Having a run game is cool, but these guys, they're able to do it without it. Okay, just look at this. 25 of 31, 305 yards, 4 touchdowns. He didn't even think about throwing an interception. All right, it wasn't even a thought. Look at the run game. Aaron Jones, who's supposed to be this big-time guy, if you guys listen to Skip Bayless, he's like the real Aaron in Green Bay. 15 carries, 58 yards. Okay, so look at that. Understand what's going on. Now, a lot of people consider Aaron Rodgers a diva. He's the reason that Mike McCarthy got up out of there. You guys can see that Mike McCarthy is not that good of a coach, though. Realistically speaking, people get exposed once certain things change, and we're seeing that Mike McCarthy, he just rode the coattails of Aaron Rodgers. I think wasn't he there around the time maybe with Brett Favre too, like I think earlier on. But regardless of whatever he was doing, we know now, right, that he's not that good of a coach. Well, what he's doing with Dallas right now, it's like, okay, dude, we could have just leave Jason Garrett there. Like, most of the Dallas Cowboy fans that I speak to would have rather kept that guy, because keeping him, at least you know what you're going to get, 8-8. Right now, they're not even going to get to 8. Now, I know Dak Prescott is out, but again, I think that they would have found ways to do something under Jason Garrett. But another thing about the Green Bay Packers, before we jump over to the Niners and how terrible they were, it's kind of weird that organizations really turn their back on players like this. Aaron Rodgers needs help. You draft Jordan Love, the future of the team, I guess is what you're saying. And I know at some point you got to start looking to the future, but this guy is special. And the stuff that he's been able to do with very, very poor defenses, not a lot of support in certain instances, is unbelievable. Just analyze and look at what he's done. Now, I know he only has the 1 ring, but to me, you have to analyze everything that goes into it, because it's 11 players on the field, on offense, and he's one guy. And he's dominant. Even with some of the throws he made were just so, it's like seamless. Even at his age right now, it's like he's never really aged as far as what he's able to do on the field. So I just think that a lot of these things that go on with the organizations and the way they treat their veteran players, it's really, really disgusting. But again, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I really just don't understand exactly why they did what they did so early, because I don't think Aaron Rodgers is on his way out anytime soon. But hopefully he gets someplace else where a team appreciates him and he's able to get out of that Green Bay situation with that ownership. Now, let's jump over to the 49ers. All right, we had Nick Mullins there. Obviously, Garoppolo is always out. The dude's always injured or taking pictures with, I don't want to say it, bro, with these stars. You guys know what I'm talking about, bro. This guy is just out of control. But Nick Mullins is a trash can, all right? He's a trash heap. Nobody knows why he was out there, even with Garoppolo being hurt. They're like, yo, why is this guy there? Like, who is that idiot? Pretty much he sucks at football. But that's fine, though, because remember, based on history, the loser of the Super Bowl Go ahead, you can Google it. What happens to the loser of the Super Bowl? They never usually make the playoffs the year after. So this is not anything that's surprising about what's going on with all the injuries and stuff like that. It just happens because people don't realize how difficult it is to get to a Super Bowl, much less lose it. It's so demoralizing and it drains you. So I guess that has something to do with it, but there are a lot of injuries, there are a lot of things going on where it's like, okay, cool, dude, like we got to figure out something, all right? But trying to figure it out, you don't want to figure it out with a guy like Nick Mullins. Like that's the issue. Backup quarterbacks are valuable because they're supposed to come in for like 2-3 games a season, just in case, and be able to go out there and handle business. This guy right here is not that guy. He's not a guy that's going to come out there and do what he needs to do. He's going to throw you a pick. You know what I'm saying? He only had one, though, but he's going to throw you a pick, or he's going to throw errant throws that should have been picks that was just dropped by the defense. All right? So with him, this is the difference that I'm talking about with quarterbacks that can win without run games and quarterbacks that need run games. He needs a run game. So McKinnon getting 52 yards on 12 carries doesn't help him. You know, Richie James, 184 yards, 9 receptions, 13 targets, a TD late in the game. Like I said, this is all garbage time. It's not anything that affected what the Packers were doing. The Packers dominated this game for its entirety, so it was never a situation where anyone thought that it was even remotely close. Bottom line about this whole situation, so I could just be very, very clear with you guys, you know, this team is a team that is very, very terrible at football. Okay, right now, the 49ers are really, really bad at football because their quarterback, even, like I said, even with Garoppolo, they wouldn't have won the game. It would have just made people more frustrated because Garoppolo, being the real starter, would have played horribly. You see, like, that's what I've been getting from them throughout the season. And at no point did I think, you know, that they were going to be able to make a run. You know, they're losing to everybody they're not supposed to lose to. It's a really, really bad situation going on right now in San Fran. But again, you know, they do have an extra playoff spot this year. A lot of things have changed. Maybe they still make the playoffs. But again, based on the way history is, I don't know. Because Garoppolo cannot get it done. Garoppolo is not a guy that's going to take you to the promised land. I'm sorry. With the way that he plays and the decisions that he makes, I just don't think that he has it either. So we'll have to wait to see what goes on with them. I think that their shot to win the Super Bowl was last year. They failed horribly with a lead late in the game. They just gave it up, and that's pretty much been it, you know, going forward. But other than Richie James, you know, doing garbage time action, there wasn't really anything going on the 49ers side of the ball, and a lot of that has to do with Nick Mullins. I'll wait to see what happens with Garoppolo, and you know, we'll reevaluate it later because you guys can be like, yo, you hating on the 49ers. I'm not, though. I'm just telling you the honest opinion about the way the team is right now with injuries and everything else going on. People not being able to be available right now. There's a lot of stuff going on in the league that we have to live with. And I just don't think the 49ers are the team that's going to be able to do anything with these type of restrictions. That's pretty much it for me. I'm going to see you guys soon. Until next time. One love, y'all.